Okay, so my first test video with you. I just want to ask you a few questions to get to know you, and we will start.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one is how would you describe your personality?
Um, I would probably describe my personality as like a mom extrovert.
What do you mean by that?
Like I'm probably fun around other moms or people that I can relate to.
Okay. Next question is what are some of your pet peeves?
Clutter, clutter,
Okay.
or just unorganized things. Um, and people who chew with their mouth open.
Okay. Next question is do you or have you ever had a mentor that has influenced you and how?
A mentor? Yes, my boss, Patty, who was more than a boss for me. She was like a mother figure, and I love her dearly. She is amazing, and our lives are pretty similar to each other. And I know her as someone who's really successful, and just being around her just kind of always encouraged me to be the best version of myself and to never stop pursuing my dreams.
Awesome. And where does Patty work?
Wells Fargo.
Um, all right. So, is there anything you would do differently if given the opportunity? Whether it's your life or career or anything.
mm, no, I don't think so, only because I feel like there are certain things in my life that have happened to me that have led me to be exactly where I am now and the person that I am now. I feel like if anything was different, then I wouldn't be who I am now.
Okay. Where do you find your inspiration for life? What gives you fire?
My children.
Good answer. What principles or values are you committed to?
I think the values that my dad instilled in me as a kid, I I grow up always saying my daddy wouldn't like this or my daddy wouldn't approve of this. And I think I just go back to what he taught me to be and just what I feel like I should be. And I always treat people the way that I would like to be treated.
Good. Is there a book or a podcast or video that you would recommend someone to read or see? Something that might have changed your life, your mindset, or your life?
Mm, not really, only because I have just recently dove into starting to read. I didn't like reading growing up, so I'm not as smart in that area quite yet, but I hope to get there one day.
Okay. If you had a personal mission statement or something to live your life by, what would it be?
Treat people the way you want to be treated.
The golden rule.
Yeah.
Think back 5 or 10 years ago. Is this where you envisioned you would be?
No.
What do you think your life would have been?
10 years ago, I would. 10 years ago is like peak right before my kids. So if 10 years ago they asked me where I would be at, I'd probably be like a pediatrician out there somewhere. If I would have done my life differently, 5 years ago, Ooh, 5 years ago, I probably would have, could have still been a pediatrician or at least a physician's assistant, which is what they had advised me to do.
Okay. What is the most important leadership lesson you have ever learned, and how is it valuable?
Um, to always be the example.
Okay. What skill or ability would you recommend others to develop or improve on?
Public speaking at an early age is probably the most important for me.
Okay. How do you stay connected to your circle or your group?
I don't say that I do very well in that area. I'm going to admit that. I'm kind of a solitary person, but I do like make calls to my friends and make sure that I reach out, even if they don't reach out to me always. Um, but I could be better at it for sure.
Okay. Have you ever had a major career transition?
When I left my job at Wells Fargo to be a stay at home mom, yeah.
Okay. So right now you are going to school, right?
Yeah.
So what motivates you to keep pushing your school and graduating?
My kids,
Okay.
they're my inspiration. And also myself, I wanted, I know I am somebody, but I want to be somebody more,
Yeah.
more to who I would be without them, just for me.
Now, once you become a nurse, is that it? Or are you going to try to become above a nurse and be a manager or a lead nurse?
Um, I think I'll be fulfilled for a little bit. If I decide to do something more later on, then maybe that'll be something for later on.
Okay. Um, is there any hard choices that you have had to make in your career or in school?
Yeah, I feel like going to school and being a mom does kind of jeopardize a little bit of the time. Not jeopardize, it makes me feel like I'm losing some of the time that I would have with my kids, especially my babies. But at the same time, like babies sleep a lot. So really I'm not really missing out on a whole lot. It's just kind of like choosing to miss even a little bit of time. Kind of makes you feel like you're being a bad parent sometimes, or at least me. I have mom's guilt.
Yeah. Okay. What would you say is your biggest strength and how did you develop it?
I feel like I have a really strong character because of the life that I've had growing up, just my like just the struggles that I've grown up with, being a young mom and going through kind of a rough patch with that.
Okay. What would you say is or used to be your biggest weakness?
My biggest weakness used to be not being able to speak up for myself, but that's changed
How did you overcome it?
with the struggles I went through. They gave me tough skin.
Okay. What are you most proud of personally without involving family? Something that you developed personally for yourself.
I think my character.
Okay. What hobbies or events are you associated with? What do you like to do for fun?
I like to read now. I like to what is that? I'm a food connoisseur and I like to go shopping for deals. Specifically, I like to find things that are relatively inexpensive and I'm proud to say, "Oh, I got this for $5" and brag about how inexpensive it was.
Good. What is the best memory you have, or one of the best that comes to mind?
The birth of all my children.
Okay. Now, I want to hear what your first impression of me was when you first met me.
That you were very, very attractive. You had a very nice smile.
Thank you. Now, do you see any, now that you know me for, geez, what, 8 years?
Yeah,
Almost nine?
yeah.
What do you see as some of my blind spots or opportunities that I can improve on?
Um, Probably caring for others as much as you care for yourself. You know, and I think just that, just being a little bit more selfless.
Okay. We're going to finish up with some favorite questions. And then if we have time, we will dig into your family too.
Okay.
Okay. So, what is your favorite game to play?
Game to play. Hmm. I would have to say probably volleyball, even though I'm not too good at it.
Okay. That's okay. What is your favorite song, music genre, or artist?
Hmm. I don't have a favorite song because I like a lot of songs. And that's a tough question for me because music is a big thing for me and my family. If I had to say one of those is easier to answer, it'd probably be genre. And at the moment, it'd probably be country.
Okay. And then what is your favorite type of food or dish?
I think it's always been Chinese food. Chinese
Chinese.
food has always been my favorite.
Okay. How about favorite drink?
Mm, horchata.
Chata. Favorite holiday?
Holiday. Thanksgiving.
Because of the food.
Yeah. And because of the family.
And your favorite relative?
My favorite relative?
Yeah.
My sister.
Which one?
I'm not going to answer that.
Okay. Well, let's hear about your family.
Okay.
Tell me about your family growing up. Your mom, your dad, your siblings.
Um, like specifically what?
I want to know about just your childhood, growing up, how your dad was, how your mom was, how your siblings were.
Well, I grew up with siblings, but we were all so far apart. We're all 6 years apart. And I feel like because we were so far apart in age, we never really had like play time together. Like when I was old enough to play, my older sibling was too old to play. Like she felt like she was too cool or something. We didn't really play too much together. And kind of the same thing happened with me and my younger sister. When she was old enough to play, I was just kind of on to another level already. But I think we had a decent relationship just because my parents never, like, they made sure we wouldn't fight and they really made sure we wouldn't fight. So I think we were just kind of forced into a good relationship. And now growing up, it's gotten a lot better. Like, I love my sisters and I love my little brother. But again, we're 12 years apart. So there is a huge gap there. Also, him growing up, I had already left the house. So, um, that's that. My dad, love him so much. All the memories I have of him are just him always going out of his way to make sure we had the life that he didn't have growing up. And my mom, um, she's just the typical like Mexican mom, I'd say, but vastly different. That's all I can say.
Okay. Um, all
Good.
right.
Okay, go play.
Last question is you have your mom, your dad, you had your oldest sister,
Uh huh.
and then it was you, and then it was your younger sister, and then Tony.
Uh huh.
Were you close with your grandparents?
Not really. Only when we went to go visit Mexico, which was not very often growing up.
Okay. No memories with them, really?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
Okay, that's okay. Well, thank you for being my first official interview, and hopefully our kids can see this when they're older and pick your head with some of the answers you have.
Okay, that's fun. I liked it.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.